When you talk about a balance sheet of a country, I think it's important to understand that there is no balancing element, right? There is, but it's more of a snapshot. For a country, the assets and the liabilities do not necessarily need to match. So, for example, if you look at India's international investment position, so the country as a whole owns about $900 billion of foreign assets. Right. So this could be the RBI holding US treasuries, it could be individuals owning foreign equities, it could be companies owning foreign subsidiaries. And India also has about $1.27 trillion of international liabilities. Basically, Indian companies having foreign loans. So this doesn't need to match. At a global level, the assets and liabilities obviously have to match. But for a country, when you're looking at the balance sheet in the form of international investment position, they don't need to match.
So this you're talking only of the international or overall balance sheet also?
I'll come to a second measure of the Indian country's balance sheet, which is what we call debt to GDP.
Right.
So once a country starts spending more than it has, in the sense that if you're collecting 100 rupees of taxes, but your government is spending 120, 130, 150 rupees, you are effectively borrowing from the future. So you are imposing this burden on future taxpayers. And so sovereign debt to GDP, which is if you aggregate the central government debt, the state government debt, the municipal government debt, and you look at it as a percentage of what your annual income is, which is GDP, this ratio is the sovereign debt to GDP. And this is also a measure of how healthy the government's or the country's position is, in the sense that if it is low, you have not borrowed from the future. If it is very high, then you have been borrowing from the future, and then you need to slow down.